and welcome to the most magical podcast where we give you tons of tips and advice to help you visit the Disney parks like a pro so you can maximize the magic by mastering the planning. My name is Sophie from Most Magical Guides, and I am so excited for the guests that we have this week. They have completely revolutionized my trips to Disney World. Their advice has been invaluable. So let's give a warm welcome to Princess and the Bear. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Of course.
It's
Nice to be here.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. I've been so excited for this because, like I say, my trips have been made indefinitely better by your tips and advice. I first started watching you in 2019. I had a trip.
Oh, wow.
That's early.
2022 is a long time. I was coming in 2022, which obviously that didn't happen, but it was perfect for me because I'm a vegan. I was traveling with someone who wasn't vegan. So to find a channel that can let you know all of the restaurants and what they're like for both people was a revolution. It was amazing. So
we're glad it helped.
yes, it's been a life changer. Like, it's been amazing. And like every trip that I've had now, I've always had amazing food, and I think it's because I know what good food is, which is amazing. So when did you start your channel?
2018.
June 2018, almost 6 years.
That's wild. That's so amazing. And what made you start the channel?
Honestly, the exact situation you described. We were going to Disney a lot, and it was like we have a hard time finding food where we can both enjoy at a restaurant. So it's like, can we make this like a proof of concept? Like, can we both go and get food that we enjoy? And like, we have a camera, we have the know-how. Maybe we just start making videos.
And we had a lot of people asking us questions about Disney because we were going 4 times a week even then.
Yep.
So we were like, let's just put it on YouTube so that we can reference something instead of saying the same places over and over again.
Yep. And we didn't even live as close as we do the parks now. We were like 2-3 hours away from the parks before, and we were coming four times a week.
That's amazing. That's commitment. That's incredible. But I feel like if I lived that close to Disney as well, it would be impossible. I would be like, I have to go.
Yeah.
I have to be.
It would be. We'd wake up some mornings. It's like, you feel like making a 2-hour drive. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Exactly. That's so perfect. And yeah, it's been so great because I think now you've actually visited all of the restaurants at Disney World. Is that right?
Yes, we have.
Yes.
What an achievement.
That took a while, but yeah, with 1900 Park Fair.
1900 Park Fair was the last one. We had that one booked in 2020, and it didn't happen. So it just got delayed our, I guess, finishing all of the restaurants.
Yes. Oh, that's so frustrating because it's completely out of your hands. You're like, just open it already.
Yes, please.
It's amazing.
The rest have so many plans because we were trying to go to Tokyo that year.
Yeah, we had plans to go to Japan and do TDR in 2020.
It's a nightmare, isn't it? Because I think everyone's so messed up, and then it's so hard to then rechange it to the rest of your plans. It's just a nightmare. So I hope you get to go out there because the Asian parks look next level. But the one thing that I worry about is the vegan food. I know recently been to Hong Kong and Shanghai, and they were absolutely fine. But I think Japan's a little bit more tricky.
It is.
Yes, but the food there looks next level, and especially the theme of the food.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Absolutely.
All the Baymax shaped foods.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. We need that. So I thought it'd be really great to kind of get a deep dive into the best restaurants at Disney World, because I feel like dining is such a big part of any trip. Like, I start planning my dining the second I book, and in the UK sometimes I've booked 20 months in advance, which is insane to think, where am I going to eat in 20 months' time? Like, no one needs to plan that far in advance. But it's such a big part of your trip, and there's so much stress around getting the diner reservations you want. And I think people just want to know, where am I going to get the best food? So maybe if we go like park by park, what restaurants would recommend, that would be fantastic. So should we start with Magic Kingdom?
Of course.
Magic
Kingdom is the most challenging for you.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Magic Kingdom food.
Magic Kingdom is like the least flexible place for her to eat.
Yep.
And more junk food. But
a lot more junk.
If we're gonna pick quick service, it's definitely going to be Friar Nooks.
Yeah. Did you get the vegan brat?
Yeah, I love bratwurst. I love getting a bratwurst and a pretzel bun, and they have the perfect one with sauerkraut, and you can put mustard on it, and it's huge and filling. Most people like Casey's, but I really like Fire Nooks more, especially since they changed their hot dog.
Yeah, then I can get the tots with buffalo sauce, and that's a good one. And it's nice and quick. It's central to the park. I don't have to go to either end of the park to get food.
Right. I'm desperate to try there because I love German food and I've not been there yet. So it's on my list to try it this year.
Yeah. And then table service.
Yeah.
That's hard.
That's harder because like all the places that people want to go in their Magic Kingdom where like the food there is not the best. The theming is great, but the food not so much, but like Skipper's Canteen.
Yeah, that's usually
the most consistent, easy recommendation.
And the Plaza has been on my favorite list lately, but Skipper Canteen has more food options.
Yes. I was so surprised. I went there for the first time my last trip, and it's obviously a Jungle Cruise themed restaurant, but I had no idea the Skippers, like the servers, were going to do all the jokes. And it was a hoot because I was not expecting it. I was just like, this is hilarious. It was amazing.
Like, you think about it, but like, yeah, definitely, it surprised you. They go all in.
And there's like noises and stuff in the restaurant. You sit there long enough, you're like, what was that?
Yes. And like you said, I think people think I've got to go to Cinderella's Royal Table or Be Our Guest. And like you say, the theming's great, but the better food is going to be in the other restaurants. Yeah.
Definitely.
I've heard that the dessert in Plaza Gardens, the vegan dessert, is supposed to be amazing. Not Plaza Gardens, that's in the Plaza.
We had it 4 times, and then every time that we order it, we always end up fighting over it, like with our spoons, trying to get the last bite because we both love it so much.
We'll sword fight in the restaurant.
Yes, and I always think that's really handy because I have friends that aren't vegan, and there's a lot of discussion about like, do I say something's good because I'm a vegan and that maybe if they tried it, they'd be like, no, you can definitely tell that that's vegan, like it tastes off. It's really nice when we get Bear saying his reviews, and especially when they're like, this is great, then you know everyone's going to enjoy this.
I think that's been one message that we've tried to like convey through doing all this is that food is food. Vegan or not, like it's really just about the flavor and the ingredients. If it's good, it's good. Doesn't really matter if it's vegan or not.
Yeah, 100% that. Are there any restaurants that you think, if you're going to be in Magic Kingdom, don't waste your time because maybe it's not worth the money?
Starlight Ray, Cosmic Rays,
Starlight Rays, Cosmic Cafe,
and Pecos Bill.
Pecos Bill are pretty terrible in general. Yes. I mean, we've gotten sick at Starlight a couple times.
Yes.
Yeah, that
was a lovely Easter gift.
And I would say, unless you're really, really obsessed with Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, yeah.
Be Our Guest is kind of a skip because you don't even get the same meet and greet experience you used to get with the Beast. Yeah. So there's no pictures with him. So at that point, you're just paying a lot of money to watch him walk through the hall for an hour or two. So
yes. I was really lucky to visit when it was quick service for breakfast and lunch.
Oh, and I loved lunch.
Yes.
Oh, the lunch was so good.
Every time we go, we ask if they're going to bring it back.
Yeah, exactly. Because like you say, the food was actually really good and you got to see the amazing setting. And I was like, oh, it was a dream. It was a dream. It's been so good. So should we move on to Hollywood Studios next, maybe?
Ooh. Yes. Well, you always cringe when somebody says Hollywood Studios.
Well, because there's so many good quick service, to pick one is really, really hard.
Well, I like Ronto Roasters.
I do love Ronto Roasters too, very much. But I always we will go to Hollywood Studios just so that I can get one of those vegan grilled cheese. And then leave.
She's obsessed.
I think was it last month? No, this month we went to Hollywood Studios, and I had that thing 3 times in 2 weeks.
I love it.
We'll be leaving the park, and it's like, can I stop by Woody's Lunchbox and the grilled cheese? It's like, sure.
But that's only. Yeah, and I think it's only because Ronto Roasters is open 4 hours out of the day.
Yeah, the hours are terrible in Ronto Roasters.
Yeah, it's wild that it shot so early.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And then what's hard for her is that you can order like most of Ronto Roasters menu in Docking Bay, but you can't order the vegan item.
Yeah.
So like the vegan Ronto Roaster you can't get after it closes. So after 4, you got nothing really.
Yes.
Except for Woody's.
Yeah, exactly. And then you get the grilled cheese or you not come.
Yes.
It's absolutely perfect. And what about table service meals? I feel like this is a harder part because there's definitely less table service restaurants here.
There is.
None of them are like truly bad.
They're also not exceptional. Right. I mean, there's Sci-Fi and Roundup Rodeo Barbecue.
Yes.
Those are probably the top two.
I think I like Sci-Fi a little bit better than Roundup Rodeo. Just
Sci-Fi has a really nice theme. I think their appetizer has changed a little too much for me to appreciate, but yeah, I guess I would go with that too. Sci-Fi.
But if you're craving the American barbecue, I guess Roundup Rodeo.
I like their cauliflower and all their sides. Their salad is amazing.
And you always leave full from Roundup Rodeo.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the thing. Yes, this year, because Roundup Rodeo was still being built when I was there last time, and then this time I was like, I'm absolutely going. But obviously, when I'm on a solo trip, people were like, that is so much food. But luckily, some people that watch my YouTube channel all going to do it at the same time. So we're going to do a little meetup so we can all share the food. And it looks so good. Again, the theming's amazing. And I feel like, especially the two newer lands, the food has been really great in Toy Story Land. And
definitely a step up from where it used to be. Yeah,
yes,
I agree.
Amazing. I've always thought it's interesting. Something I would love to see is if they did a character dining meal in Galaxy's Edge. And I don't think that would ever happen, but I'm like, that would be the dream.
That would be amazing.
That would be a dream, yes.
I feel like they have the room. It's just the will.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
I agree.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Galactic Star Cruiser, if they will somehow transform that. And
that has broken our heart so much. Yes.
Yeah.
It's so sad. It looked next level incredible. It's just such a shame it's shut.
Yeah, we need more Star Wars things here, like on the East Coast of the United States. I feel like we miss out on a lot of the Star Wars things. Yeah. We used to have a whole Star Wars event. Now we have nothing.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's such a shame because I saw recently like the Star Wars night in Disneyland and it looked insane. And you know, they could totally do that in Disney World. And it's like, please do.
Yeah.
We're just waiting.
We used to have Star Wars weekends. It was amazing.
Just a crumb.
Yes, exactly that. We're not asking for much. It's perfect. And are there any places in Hollywood studios that you're like, maybe swerve this?
ABC Commissary.
100% Commissary. I have nothing nice to say about ABC Commissary. That is a running joke about how I will, unless I'm forced or there's some like super specialty item, I'm not setting foot in that place.
Yes, it's not good.
Absolutely awful.
Avoid at all costs. It's perfect. So maybe we should head over to Epcot. And I think Epcot's so interesting because obviously you've got the different pavilions, you've got cuisine from all around the world and so many restaurants, which is amazing.
Yeah,
it's a foodie palace, basically.
It is.
There's so much to eat for any kind of food that you want.
Yes.
And like, again, it's a lot of like everything. There's nothing horribly bad. And it's just like, what do you want to eat most days? Like, what kind of food are you craving? I know for quick service, it's not the strongest part for quick service. Yeah. Honestly, because there's so many like full table service restaurants.
Yeah.
I think there's plenty for non-vegans, but for vegans, there's not a lot. I think our best ones are like off-menu, hidden menu type stuff. So definitely like the fish and chips from Rose and Crown. That's off menu only from the pub, and you can only get it after 5 p.m. So it's like a short window.
Specialty.
But he can get it anytime. And then, of course, I think Summerfest, which is next to Biergarten, they have an off-menu bratwurst that you can do, and then the non-vegan one, and it comes with paprika chips and all this stuff. And they cook their bratwurst like the best at Disney. So yeah, those are the two.
This is so helpful to me because I had no idea about Rose and Crown pub doing the vegan option until I found out through you. So when I was there, I was like, right, I'm sneaking in. I know the off menu. And I think that's so handy because, like you said, there's lots of options that are either off menu or can be modified. And if you're just looking for things on the menu that are listed as vegan, Epcot's a bit more difficult because a lot of the restaurants aren't obviously owned by Disney. But this needs to go check out your channel because they're getting all of the insider tips and tricks. And yeah, it was so good, that fish and chips.
And then table service. I think we settled on beer. We had a lot of discussion thinking about
the best because it's hard. There's so much table service.
Beer Garden,
and
the Japan Pavilion's Shikisai are a tie for us almost. Like any excuse to go, we're going.
Yeah, Beer Garden is like the best buffet for vegans, I think, at Epcot, especially since Garden Grill changed.
Yeah. And it's dinner and a show.
Yeah, the show is amazing.
It's so good. I have like an affinity to Germany. Like when I was a child, we learned German in school. I've been to Germany a few times. So I love that pavilion. And like you say, Beer Garden, when you're in there, you've got your like beer in the air.
Yeah.
Playing music. I was like, I'm living my German fantasy.
Yeah.
So good. And like you said, the food was really tasty. That mustard sauce, I was like, I need to put it on next to everything. It's so good.
Yes.
It's so good. And Shikisai is the place that as soon as it opened, I was like, this is like my number one place I need to go and visit. It looks incredible.
Huge vegan menu. Huge.
I think the problem there going to Shikisai is ordering too much.
Yeah.
Because the menu just looks so pretty. It's like, well, I want all of this, but I can't eat it all.
I think we just went like a month ago. And when we were walking up, I said I was only going to get 2 things or 3 things. And I ended up getting 5.
Yes. Yeah. It's so hard to get, isn't it? I think that's the thing. When you suddenly have lots of choice, you're like, but I need all of it. It's amazing. But
the only limit at Epcot is your stomach.
Yes.
That's so true. That's so true. And I feel like when I was a kid and we would go to Epcot, when you're a kid, you just want to go on the rides. And I never got Epcot. I was like, what is this? There's hardly nothing here. What's going on? But now as an adult, when you're like, oh, we're going to be taking in loads of food and drink and like all of the sights, I'm obsessed with Epcot. Like, love it now.
And there's more character meet and greets at Epcot than any other park. Yeah. They're at every pavilion.
And honestly, like when we first started like really doing this, we thought Epcot was gonna be like the boring park. We're never going to go there. And then we started exploring like there's so many things, both food wise and activity wise. If you just step off World Showcase and go in the pavilions, we spend days at Epcot and not get bored because we're doing something different every time. Like every pavilion has something to do. There's there's the Victoria Gardens in Canada. There's a tea tour right now in the UK. We have
Living with the Land tour.
Yeah, there's so many things to do that you wouldn't see if you just stick to the circle.
That's so true. That's so true. And what's also really nice, Epcot basically pretty much all year round has some sort of festival going on now. So it brings even more into the parks and it's incredible.
It's true.
Like you say, I was like, this is going to be the boring park, and now I'm like obsessed. Like it went from my least favorite park to now like my second favorite park. I'm like,
we're literally like we're trying to find reasons not to go because we don't have too much.
Yeah,
exactly. We can't have a channel that's all Epcot. We would.
It's so true. We have to rein it in. But like you said, there's no real bad options. Are there any ones that you think maybe it's not worth the cost, or it's just if there's other options available, this one I'll probably skip over?
Oddly enough, the newest quick service, the Connection Eatery, is usually a skip.
It's good for AC.
It's good for like an AC break, and I mean the Starbucks is there if you want coffee, but like the food, there's better food within such a short walking distance. There's really no reason to eat there. You're just selling yourself short. If you have to, it's great, but like there's so many other food places. You can just walk right over that.
I would recommend it if you have to work at Epcot. It's a great place to just plop up your computer and sit in the AC and drink a coffee or something. But if you're going there to eat lunch, you're probably going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
And then quick service. Oddly enough, there's a Katsura Grill in the Japan Pavilion.
Yeah, that one's really bad.
Avoid. The AC doesn't work really half the time in the building, so it's always hot in the summer, and the food is awful.
And the bathrooms is like 2 stalls. There's no AC in there either, so you're like sweating when you're trying to go to the bathroom.
It's not one. That is not the one in Florida. It's just like, no way. And I think what's really interesting about Epcot is where a lot of the restaurants aren't owned by Disney. Don't necessarily have vegan options listed, but the chefs are so accommodating, and this is something that's very different to somewhere like Disneyland Paris, where interestingly a lot of the food at Disneyland Paris is actually prepared off-site and then just brought in and reheated, so they don't have a lot of chefs in Disneyland Paris. It's more like cooks, so because of that they don't necessarily know what's in the food, and also you can't always make accommodations or modifications, which is very difficult. Whereas in Disney World and Disneyland, it's unbelievable the difference. It's amazing that they're so accommodating.
Yeah, there's been very few times we've encountered a chef that wasn't willing to modify. They're usually excited about it. Like, you want something else? I'll make you something. We've been even at character dining. It's like, I will make you something now. We'll go back and we'll what do you like this? Do you hate this? Do you not like this?
Like, even like the all-star hotels,
yeah,
like the value hotels, they'll do that.
It's wild. I remember we went to Boma for breakfast, and I was really impressed with the amount of things that were on the buffet. And I said to the server I was vegan, so I was eating away, and then she just brought out like this tray of food. She's like, "Oh, I've made all this for you," and I was like, "This is amazing, it's incredible." And I was like, on my own, and I felt really bad because everyone was like looking like, "What's this special of food just for this one woman?" But the food was unreal, and yeah, I can't get over it. It's so good because especially buffets. I like they will label everything. They're like lettuce, vegan. Yes. They won't be like yes, they let you know. It's again Disneyland Paris, they label like 2 things and the rest of it you're on your own. So you either have to you need the allergy menu. I had the unfortunate experience of asking one of the chefs and he gave me all the wrong information. I was ill because I was like, oh no. But in Disney World, the fact that you feel confident that the chefs kind of know what they're doing and they're going up and beyond is next level. I'm obsessed with it.
In doing this, we've made friends with quite a few of the chefs, and like they literally get excited about being able to like stretch their creativity to make something. So like even that's probably the one tip. Like if you come here, and even if you have something on the menu, it's something that you don't like, say like you don't like mushrooms, just tell your server. They'll talk to the chef. They'll figure it out.
Sometimes, depending on what it is.
Yes, that's so incredible because I know a lot of people will contact me and they will have maybe they have multiple allergies, stuff like that. So they're like, I can see on the menu I could eat this, but it has something in it that I can't eat. And it's so nice that if you go to Disney World, it's like you don't need to worry. Like they will have you. It's perfect. So maybe we should move on to Animal Kingdom next.
Oh yes.
Yes.
The easy part.
Yes.
Quick service is a no-brainer. Best tofu at Disney World, Satuli Canteen.
That's another word. She's always trying to find a reason to sneak in there. And like the bowls in there are so flexible that like you can make what you want and probably get by.
We get an adult's bowl and a kid's bowl, and then we just mix the two and have like a nice little extra amount of tofu. It is the best.
I was literally about to say that because I saw this recently from you, this tip, and I was like, oh my gosh, because you know, like when they're like, which base do you want? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Get both.
I want them all.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I was so blown away because I like also that it's really creative. Like, I think people think if you're going to a theme park, you're just going to get burgers and hot dogs. But somewhere like Satuli Canteen, the food is unreal. It's so good.
Yes.
Otherworldly, almost.
Yes, exactly. It's so perfect. And what about table service?
We have to. I mean, there's only
there's
3,
like 3 table service at Animal Kingdom, and one is signature dining that's always dead. But I think the one that's always busy that has a good amount of food is Yak and Yeti.
Yes.
Even though they're third party.
Yeah,
they do a really good job at Animal Kingdom, and then that restaurant is really well themed. It mixes them the park pretty well. So
yes, yeah, no, like you say, it's perfect for the setting, and again, like you say, there's loads, and the menu's like really extensive, so everyone's going to put something on there that they love.
Yeah, Tiffin's is their signature dining restaurant. It's okay, but like it hasn't been
good food
as good as in the past couple of years. And then the value compared to going to Yak and Yeti. Yak and Yeti is like the easier.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. I went to Tiffin's on my last trip, and I had no idea there was kind of also a bit like a art gallery museum.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I was waiting for my little table, and there was a notebook. So I was saying to the server, like, "Is this Joe Rohde's?" Because I am obsessed with Joe Rohde. She was like, "Yeah, this is all of his," and she actually was a art history major. And it was so exciting. She was like, I can do a tour for you all around in town and explain everything. And I was like, this is amazing. So like you say, at Disney, it's all these little extra things. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to go to a restaurant. Like, you might also end up on a tour in a museum, and it's amazing.
Well, in Tiffin's, you get a piece of Joe Rohde art at the end of your meal too. Yeah. There's like 14, I think, you can collect.
We're still collecting those.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great thing to do. Just go Tiffin's and get your art.
Yes, exactly. And like, I liked that when you went to some of the character dining restaurants, you also still got the postcard with the signatures, and I think that's like a really nice little collectible. I was so excited when I went to Cinderella's Royal Table, and even as an adult, I got the wand.
Yes, I love those things. He gets a sword.
Yes,
it's perfect. But I love all these little touches. You're like, this feels very Disney. If I go to Disney, I want the full Disney experience, and I like that you're an adult. You get it. It's perfect. Something I thought would be great to talk about is I feel like a lot of the dining in the hotels is really great, but I feel like a lot of people, particularly coming from like the UK or Europe, think that they just need to dine in the parks because that's where they're going to be spending their time. But the hotels are so easy to access with the free transportation. And I think the food there is amazing. So I was wondering if you have any restaurants that you like, if you're going to be in Disney, don't miss out on these because they're amazing.
100%.
That's a long list.
We think that the resorts are better dining than the parks, and to not eat at the resorts is like a huge miss.
You're missing out on a lot of the experience if you don't at least go visit like a resort, because just some of the best places to hang out or sit back and relax, actually enjoy your vacation are at the resorts. Even if you're not a resort guest, you said you can take the transportation system, and so all inclusive that you can go anywhere. So like,
I think our most frequented restaurants that we go to, like, and Disney World period, are
resort based.
Sanaa and Steakhouse 71.
So Animal Kingdom Lodge and then the Contemporary Resort.
Yes, such good food. And I started my trip last time at Steakhouse 71 because you're like a 5-minute walk away from Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And it was so good, the food. And like you say, everything's so close. And don't think you, like you say, you're totally missing out. And also, like you say, if you're not staying on site at Disney, it's so worth going to visit the resorts because the theming is incredible. I love that you get all of the merchandise, specifically like resort specific merchandise.
Yes.
Which is so fun. And the food is next level. And Sanaa, like that bread service is
the best.
It's so good.
We love that bread service and the ability, like, even if like you don't have like an Animal Kingdom day plan, like going to Animal Kingdom Lodge, you can still get to see most of the animals just walking outside after dinner.
Or you can do the breakfast. Night safari. I love the night safari.
Yes, yeah, because like you say, there's so many things you can do at the resorts where you don't even need to step foot in the parks. And you're gonna get all of it, especially somewhere like Animal Kingdom Lodge, like you say, you're seeing all the animals. The Starlight Safari looks amazing.
Yes.
But I don't think it's like unbelievably expensive either.
No, I think it's like $100 or
just about
something like that.
Yes, but for like a own little private safari. Of course, you're with them, but like it sounds so much fun. It looks
it's like a really small group. It's like 15 people max.
Yeah. Like a handful, and you get little night goggles. You can like see and you get to hear the animals, experience them differently, learn about them. It's great.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, I was blown away by every single restaurant at Animal Kingdom Lodge. Like, I stayed there at the end of my trip last time. I did 2 nights at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and I was like, I'm not leaving. I'm just going to stay in the hotel. Ate in Sanaa twice. I went to every single restaurant, and there's not a bad meal there. It's unreal.
No, 100%. Like,
Sanaa's
anything at Animal Kingdom Lodge is an easy recommendation, from the quick service to Mara to Boma, Jiku, if you want something like nice and fancy. Sanaa is like, we would eat every meal there, like breakfast, dinner. We're good.
Best bread service at Disney World.
Yes, exactly. And so don't skip out, people, because you need to go to the resorts because that's where you're going to get the best meals. But something I also think that's a really classic part of a Disney trip are character dining meals. So are there any that you think are better? Are they the standout ones?
Tusker
House and Animal Kingdom, by far. They do amazing for both breakfast and dinner. A lot of unique options, a lot of very good vegan options. And they're not the run-of-the-mill buffet food. They have a lot more unique items at Tusker House than probably any other character dining meal property.
Yeah, I would say so.
And then, what did we say? We said Tusker or Crystal Palace for breakfast.
Yeah, Crystal.
Not dinner. Please avoid for dinner.
Yes.
Breakfast, amazing.
I love that because it's so hard to know. Because like you said, where a lot of them will do like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you're like, which one do I choose? So it's good to know. Like, breakfast amazing. Don't bother with the dinner.
Yeah, dinner's terrible.
But yeah, Tusker House is one I've not been to, and it's on my list for my next trip. And like you say, it's so nice that the food is also unique. It's not just like standard buffet food. It looks so good. And I love the characters in their safari costumes as well.
Yes.
Daisy's everything.
Always Goofy for me.
Yeah,
Goofy and Donald, or that's me every time.
Yes. The last trip I did, I went to Topolino's Terrace, and I was blown away by that as well. Like, it was just so much more relaxed. It was very, very chilled, and I was like, this is perfect. It was so good.
And the outfits of those characters are just
yes. I had to get a plush afterwards. I went to the shop and I could see that they had the characters in their costumes. I was like,
yeah,
I'm nearly 40, but I'm buying a teddy bear and I'm playing
it's worth it.
You gotta bring home something.
Yeah, exactly that. It's so good. So one of the things that I want to talk about, because I think this is such a unique experience, is Victoria and Albert's. Now, this is like super, super incredible. I think it's been voted one of the best restaurants in America. And the fact it's on Disney property is amazing.
They just got a Michelin star,
which is like the top tier foodie like award you can get here in the US.
They're also AAA diamond rated. We went once in 2019 and once in 2022. And I guess we got to go back here soon.
Yeah,
I knew that was
imagine.
It is an amazing experience.
It's an experience.
Like it's a long dinner. Like if you get the Queen Victoria room, it's anywhere from like a 4 to 5 hour dinner.
It's usually 5
hours. But the menu is exquisite. Like they literally they call you to make sure that you don't have any like preferences or allergies. Like obviously vegan, but they were like, she's like, I'm vegan, but I don't like what things do you not like. And they catered the entire menu, which is personalized with your name on it, to her liking. You get to take that menu home. So like you have that as a
gift,
as a souvenir.
Yes. And they give you, it's 10 courses if you do the main dining hall, but princess. So we have to do the Queen Victoria room and get the 13 courses. And then sometimes you get, because you're in that room, you get bonus courses from the chef, which are always amazing. And then they also give you like a little tea cake that fits whatever the theme is that you go for you to have the next day as like your post meal.
Almost breakfast. Like a thank you for visiting sort of thing. I think the last thing it was a little thing of tea as well.
Yeah,
with the cake.
So you could like brew a little accompanying tea, and they gave you like a flower and some other things. They give you a lot of things for spending an exorbitant amount of money and time in their restaurants.
They usually have a musician taking requests. It's fabulous, absolutely fabulous from like beginning to end. Like it is the most magical dining you're gonna have on property.
Probably one of the hardest to get.
Yeah. It looks literally incredible. And like you say, it's such a rare treat to kind of get to go. Because like you say, it is pricey, but the experience you come away with looks absolutely worth it. And the fact that they tailor the menu to you is absolutely like, where are you going to get that? That's amazing.
Yeah, when do you have the menu with your name on it printed, the date that you're there?
And then those are some of the most like involved chefs. Like they want feedback. It's something that you don't like. Like they're very open to like, what can we do to make this all about you? It's sort of like an all about you experience.
They tell you they want to pamper you there, and they take that very seriously.
It's incredible. And the fact that you say that it's now a Michelin star restaurant at Disney World. If you're a foodie, like what better experience when you're on holiday or celebrating something special? Absolutely worth it. It's so good.
I would say the one thing that you need to know about booking Victoria and Albert's is they do have a wait list that you can join. And the wait list, you have to add your name every 2 weeks. So you have to contact them every 2 weeks at the minimum just for the wait list. And you pick one day. And if they get an opening, they'll call you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting to hear. That is a top tip because I did not know that. But that is fantastic. But yeah, I feel like it's definitely on my list of things I need to try because it looks incredible. I think
it is great.
So I think somewhere that kind of gets skipped over is somewhere like the Swan and Dolphin, because obviously they're on Disney property, but they're not owned by Disney. But the restaurant look really great as well.
Not for vegans, except for maybe like Rosa Mexicano, which is the newest one. But like we've been to all of them. The Japanese sushi place, Kimonos, they don't really have a lot of vegan options. Shula's was really sad. I feel it was like
I think you got asparagus.
Yeah,
like 6 asparagus,
vegetables, and some plain pasta with nothing on it.
And there was what is the other one called?
Il Milano.
Il Milano is the Italian one.
Yeah, that one also.
It's just like pasta and tomato sauce.
Yes.
Even their food festival. They have their own food festival. They don't cater to vegans at all, really.
Well, that's so interesting because, like you say, I know a lot of people that contemplate staying there because obviously you get the benefits of staying at a deluxe resort, but it is cheap.
Yeah.
But then it's such a shame if you're like, okay, you're gonna have to always not eat in the hotel. Or you'll get like more basic food if you've kind of got a dietary requirement.
The benefit is that you have the boardwalk, like literally within walking
And
distance.
beach and yacht, yeah.
So you have a lot of other options within walking distance. You don't have to, and then with the Skyliner and the boat, you have, it's a quick access to the other resorts where you have amazing food within like, a 10 to 20-minute travel time.
Which is fantastic. Yeah, no, like you say, being able to be close to lots of different dining, especially like you said with the free transport, you're never far from anywhere really. And I feel like people need to really get on board with the dining at the hotels because it's next level. It's so good.
There's a new one called Mare though.
Oh yeah, Amare Mediterranean restaurant is at the Swan Reserve. That's one of their newest ones. That one's pretty nice.
Yeah. Oh no, that's good to know. Yeah, because I've never ever visited those hotels. Like I've passed them on the Skyliner and been like, oh, that's nice. But I know lots of people that stay there, and I was like, I'd like to know because I haven't really heard many people who have dined there. So it's great to get your experience. I've seen some of your videos, and it's good just to know what that's like because I was like, I have no idea.
We have stayed there too, and the bedding is very comfortable. The hotel is really nice. The pool is really nice. The food is.
The amenities are great. Like, literally, it's one of the most comfortable hotels we stayed in, close to Disney property, or even on Disney property. It's really just like once you're at the hotel, it's like okay, you're looking at food options. It's like, well, I might have to make a little trip, but like if you want to stay there, I think it's still worth it.
No, that's good to know. Well, that's perfect. Yeah, I definitely feel like I need to start working my way around all the different resorts because there's so many places to stay now. It's so good. But I was wondering as well, because something that you have featured in your channel are trips to Disneyland. And obviously, again, it's known for great food. California food is iconic. Everyone kind of really wants to try it. That kind of really fresh flavors. So are there any restaurants that you were like, if you're going to Disneyland, this is where you need to go?
Goofy's Kitchen, 100% for breakfast. It's like my favoriteest thing of all of the things.
Both like character dining and then like just the array of food is much more varied. And there's so much more of it than any buffet we've ever had at Walt Disney World. Goofy's Kitchen is definitely a top tier recommendation. Yeah. And then
the Lamplight Lounge.
Yes. Yeah. And California Adventure is just great. The views, the food, the drinks, everything there.
They have on and off menu things. Their Impossible Burger was so amazing. I didn't finish it because we were I think we were doing a bunch of food reviews that day, and I took it in a box and I walked with it in the park the whole day until we sat on the floor and did Fantasmic, and I sat there and I happily ate it cold. It was so good.
It's so good. When I had the Brussels Caesar salad, and I was like, why have I never used Brussels sprouts before?
Oh yeah,
it's so good. It was so good. And like you said, the view, like there was so much live music going on all around. Like it's an amazing place to go and relax.
Definitely.
It's something we really liked.
We're overdue for a trip.
Yes, exactly. But something I thought that was great there that I wish they would bring to Disney World is the Ronto-less wrap.
Oh yes,
obsessed with it.
We absolutely need that here. We like to see more parity between the parks because there are so many options that we get. Like even just like food festival wise at California Adventure, the vegan options dwarfs most of the festivals we get here at Epcot. Except for maybe Flower and Garden.
Yeah.
So like we definitely would like to see that.
I mean, I would like a shawarma. That would be nice.
Yes. Yeah, that, oh my God, that was so good as well. Like, and like you said, the variety of food. And again, I feel like it's not your typical theme park fare. Like you're going to eat really, really, really well there. And I actually found the prices to be quite cheap as well.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
way less than Disney World.
Yeah. I was so impressed. I was like, all around a win. I didn't eat anything that I would thought I wouldn't have that again. Like everything was really good.
It's totally agree.
Yeah, we don't really have any avoids at Disneyland right
now.
No.
Yeah. I think that's a great position to be in, isn't it? Because you kind of know it's going to be great. And I always say to people, I think it's a good idea to do some research before you go to a Disney park with the dining because a lot of people, I think, kind of wait till they're hungry and then just see what's around. But obviously you're not going to get the best food that way. Whereas if you kind of know, like, these are the best restaurants in those parks, have amazing dining your whole trip.
Yep. Like that's the one thing in Disney World. Like Disney World, if you're going to eat in the parks, it definitely requires a high level of like planning. But even if, say, like something doesn't go your way or something comes up, and things do happen when you're on vacation, like almost every restaurant in the resorts has a walk-up list that you may be able to get in for a seat or two.
Or mobile ordering.
Or mobile order. Or just get the food to go. Like Sanaa, for instance, even if you can't get a seat, they will do mobile ordering and you just take your food back to your resort.
Or your room.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I saw recently as well, I think Disney World have now started adding on the map, on the app, the walk-up wait time, which I was like, that's incredible. And you can add it to a list. And I was like, this is brilliant. So it's like easier than ever. And I think that's the thing. People very much worry about getting the dining reservations. And like you say, if there's a few you don't get, it's definitely worth trying, like, to walk up and see if there's anything available.
Most definitely. Like, that's definitely like one of the things that we do. Like, even for some of the restaurants we love, like one of our favorite, like,
we even did Ohana walk up.
We did Ohana walk up. We've done one of our favorite restaurants at the Coronado Springs.
Three Bridges.
Three Bridges. We do walk up there all the time.
Yeah.
And it's usually not more than like a 15-20 minute wait, if that.
Yeah.
We've done, I think we've done Walk Steakhouse 71 before, actually.
Many times.
Yes. Yeah, so I think that's the thing. It's not like all is lost if you haven't got a reservation. And I also say to people, people's plans change. So if you check the app every now and then, reservations pop up. Like it's like there's always options. Like it's not like you're gonna go and be like, there's nothing to eat. It's loads of options.
No, not at all. Like even like I know that our channel looks like very structured, but like a lot of our food reviews and like reservations are ones that we got like the day before.
Or a couple days before or something, yeah.
That's
or same day.
Yes, because like you say, you're going to even the super hard to get reservations. So it's great to know that each day you can get these reservations last minute, which is so fantastic. And like you said, mobile order, I think, is something definitely worth utilizing. Like some of the service restaurants at peak times are so busy. So being able to order in advance and know at that time I could just walk up and get my meal, saves so much time. I absolutely loved it. It was
the expansion of mobile ordering. It's probably been the best thing to happen to quick service at Disney World in a long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it completely changes the way you visit, and it just frees up so much time because no one wants to be stood in a queue just waiting. Like, what are you doing?
No,
that's the way forward.
You wait enough lines to arrive. You don't want to wait for your food.
Exactly that. You do not want when the hanger hits, it's game over.
Yeah.
Combining that with the heat, you're gonna turn to the Hulk. Like it's not gonna go well.
Do not underestimate the heat. Like people come here, it's like we're here all the time, and the heat bothers us. There are days that we don't want to be in the park when the sun is up. So like
we'll go for like 3 hours and leave or something.
Even if it doesn't feel hot, it's hot here.
Yeah, no, it's so true. It's so true. And sometimes like, I loved it every morning when I would step outside my hotel room. Immediately, your glasses steam up, and you're like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be hot." Like it's amazing. But like you say, I think that's so can creep up on people that where you are out and about, because it's so exciting at Disney. I think people can forget, like, you need to keep hydrated, you need to keep yourself cool, get a little fun, do things like that, and you'll be fine. But if you don't,
and even if like you can't find a water fountain, almost every restaurant will give you a cup of water, like
or ice.
To just give.
Yeah,
ice for your water bottle,
perfect. Like. Yes, it's the one. Are there any snacks that you were like, if you're coming to Disney World, don't miss out on this, both for vegans and non-vegans?
I usually get the giant pretzel, the Bavarian pretzel. That's my thing. I love pretzel though.
Yes. Yeah, I love the saltiness. It's so good.
I guess the Magic Kingdom, the spring roll cart is, the hype is real. The line is usually long, but it is worth it if you can get it with like 3 or 4 people. The line moves pretty quickly.
They never have any vegan ones.
They never have any vegan ones.
Or vegetarian ones. It's always meaty.
Yeah.
The Dole Whip. You like the Dole Whip?
I do love Dole Whip. I don't like waiting for Dole Whip, but I do love Dole Whip.
Yeah, exactly. And I love now there's so many different flavors. Like it's perfect.
And I think also the maple popcorn from Canada.
You love popcorn.
I love that maple popcorn. I get it all the time.
I'm a 100% popcorn hater. I hate popcorn. Like I despise it. I cannot stand the smell.
Yes. Yeah, I have to say, I'm not a big popcorn fan. And whenever I walk, I can sense it coming. Because, like you say, you can smell it. You're like, one's nearby, I can see it.
Yeah, that's him.
If you love popcorn, you'll be able to find it easily. Exactly. But that's something I really, really appreciate about your channel is you not only give reviews, but you also let people know all of the information. So whether something's vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, whether it's gluten-free, it's so helpful to have so much information, because I know when I go to Disneyland Paris, I know a lot about the vegan food, but people are like, what are the best snacks? And I'm like, I have no idea. I only know they have one cookie for vegans and I don't know anything else. So it's really great to have so much information, because a lot of people are going to be traveling with groups with different dietary needs. And even the stuff that I really appreciate is the drinks as well. Getting to know which drinks are vegan, and I'm like, oh my god, this saves so much hassle, and it's so perfect. So it's just the absolute best. And what I think's great is you do videos 5 days a week. So it's always new content. Anytime there are updates to menus, you're there. So that's so handy, because like I say, I plan my dining so many months in advance that inevitably by the time I go, everything's changed. So it's great to have all of the up-to-date information. But you're also prolific with your shorts and Instagram, your Facebook group, all of the updates. So just how are you fitting it all in? It's like amazing how much you're doing, but it looks very hectic.
We don't do anything else.
We sleep in shifts.
Yes.
Our hours are basically split because we work different hours.
Yeah, we both have day jobs too. So we do the day job thing to pay for the YouTube thing, and then all of our free time is just spent doing this.
Yes. But yeah, it's literally incredible, because the information is invaluable, and like I say, it's made my trip so much better, because you're not wasting time just walking up to a restaurant and then it's terrible. Like every time I go, the food, I know this is a great restaurant, and then you have amazing meals. And like you said, just the tips and tricks of like, oh, you could get this secret menu item, but you have to wait till this time. Then you're just going and you're like, I know everything. I'm the insider. I'm the Disney expert. Like, it's so
we're glad that it helps. Like most of our food, most of these are opinions, so we're glad that people like them.
Yes.
You know, getting a perspective from somebody else. We like that we give two unique perspectives on the food, because that's what helps people. But we're always doing this somewhat like in a bubble, so we're never really sure. Like, do people actually? Is this helping people? We don't know. But then when we meet people, it's like, oh my god, you help so much. It's like, well, that's why we keep doing it. So.
Yes, no, it's perfect. And like you said, I think it's really great because you're getting two people's perspectives. And something I really appreciate is you describe the food really well, because I always wonder, like, are you people that are big foodies, or like you love to cook? Because I'm always like, how do I explain what this tastes like? And I have no clue.
Well, we come from like both like ethnic families with like big food backgrounds, but then like we've always been very adventurous with food, even on our own. So like.
And the food that we try at Disney inspires our cooking at home. So we'll try something there at Disney that we like, and then we go, oh, well, we want to try that at home. We want to see how we can make this. Or if he finds something he likes, he'll be like, well, let's try to make this vegan at home so you can see what it tastes like. And we just like to play in the kitchen.
So many different things, like even like different bratwurst recipes, Brussels sprouts. Like we never bought Brussels sprouts before Disney, and now it's like a regular buy. There's always some in our fridge. Like
cook from scratch when we're at home. So yeah, we're definitely huge foodies.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's such a great option to go home and be like, let's try this. That's so nice. And yeah, I also love that you will also talk about Universal and also restaurants in Orlando itself, because I found that if you were to go outside the parks and go to like a normal restaurant, it could be quite difficult to maybe find vegan food. But if you go to specific vegan restaurants, there are quite a few around in Orlando.
A lot of like small, like local ones, but they do great things here.
And festivals, they have vegan festivals. Those are great.
Yeah, and it's so handy to know this, because a lot of people that are staying off-site don't want to always be eating in the park. So to know, okay, these are the places that you're going to get great food. Are there any restaurants you would super recommend if people are coming to Orlando?
It's kind of a trek, but I would recommend going to Dajin Eats in Eatonville.
It's a little bit north of Orlando, probably like a 20-30 minute drive. But if you have like a rental car, that's a trip. And if like you're looking for a nice dinner off property, it's just like Craze Chop House in downtown Orlando.
And Nile Ethiopian also is a little closer to the parks. We love their food. Jiku inspired us to try their food, and now we like their food more than Jiku when it comes to like the Injera basket.
And most of their food, like almost half their menu is vegan as is, with like no modifications
and gluten free.
So.
Oh, amazing. That sounds perfect. Yeah, I'm like, I need to spend more time. I need to come for longer trips so I can experience more. It's absolutely perfect. Well, yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's been invaluable.
Of course, we're honored to be here.
It's perfect. And yeah, everyone, I will link everything to Princess of the Bears YouTube channel and also their Facebook page, because not only are you getting reviews and tips and advice, you can go and ask questions. So if you want to know, like, where's the best place to get this type of food, you're going to find it here. And yeah, thank you so much. Like I say, it's been absolute wonder for me to be able to talk to you, and just the amount it's helped my trips as a vegan.
No, it's been great.
We appreciate the invite, Sophie.
Yes, no, it's been wonderful. But yeah, well, I hope you've all enjoyed this podcast. If you are vegan or you're going to be traveling with a group with mixed dietary needs, definitely go check out all these reviews so you can have excellent dining whilst you visit Disney World. And until next time, I hope you all have a most magical day.